स्टूडेंट, वेलकम GMAT ट्यूटोरियल। मैं गौरव मिश्रा। आज क्लास 11 के जो मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक अगर हम कहें या किसी भी कंपटीशन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, चाहे आईआईटी या किसी भी कंपटीशन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से कहें, तो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है जिसका नाम क्यूब रूट ऑफ यूनिटी है। लास्ट लेक्चर में मैंने आपको कुछ क्यूब रूट ऑफ यूनिटी के बारे में बताया था। आई हैव टू इन्फॉर्म some more property and some more formula related to cube root of unity. So let's discuss. Before that, we consider what is the mean of cube root of unity. What is the mean of cube root of unity? Let's see what is the mean of cube root. Cube root means this is cube root, which have this is 3. तो cube root of unity, what unity means 1, clear है? तो if we consider that 1, what he said, it say that cube root of unity 1/3, and this can be right as such that let's consider that z, clear है? तो if we consider z is equal to 1 की power 1/3, taking cube on both side, z cube is equal to what we have 1, clear है? तो here z cube is equal to 1, then taking 1 in left hand side, z cube minus 1 is equal to 0, okay? And we know that z cube minus 1 cube by the formula, what is the formula of a cube minus b cube? A is a minus b means z minus 1 into z square plus 1 plus z, means a square plus ab plus b square plus ab and plus a square. So after that we get z minus 1 and z square plus z plus 1 is equal to 0. And we know that product of two number x y is equal to 0, then maybe x 0 and y 0. So taking separately 0, x is equal to z minus 1 is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1 we get. When z square plus z is equal to 0, we get z square plus z1 is equal to 0. And we know that the formula of Sridharacharya from class 10th. We know that if any quadratic equation such like that, then the Sridharacharya formula says that x is equal to, its roots will be plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, clear? So by using this formula we get minus 1 plus minus I root 3 upon 2. Last lecture till that I was discussed. Now what we get the value of z cube is equal to 1. How many roots of z? This will be cube, means 3 roots, first, second and third. First is z is equal to 1, which satisfies that, we know that. And second root is minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2, and third root is minus 1 minus I root 3 upon 2, clear? Now let we consider that this is 1 and this is omega and this is omega square, not w. Omega square, omega, what is the omega? We can consider that any name of this quantity is a omega which is fixed, and this name is omega square, clear? Now we can say that z cube is equal to 1 have the roots 1 omega and omega square. In other words, what is the mean of omega? Omega is minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2. Always remember. Similarly, what is the omega square? Omega square will be minus 1 minus I root 3 upon 2. Now, let's discuss some more given in this matter. What is this? Omega is equal to e की power I 2 pi by 3. What is the e की power I 2 pi by 3, and how can this write equal to this quantity and omega square is equal to 4 pi by 3 equal to this quantity? So in the last lecture we have discussed some I am discussed some property as we can say that Eulerian property. What is the name of that property? Eulerian property. Eulerian property. What is the Eulerian property? If we consider that I ki power theta, e ki power I ki power theta, which can be write cos theta plus I sin theta. Clear? So by using that formula, e ki power I 2 pi by 3 can be write cos 2 pi by 3 plus I sin 2 pi by 3. And we know that cos 2 pi by 3, what is the value of cos 2 pi by 3? Cos 2 pi by 3 can be right, cos 2 pi by 3 can be right pi minus pi by 3. Similarly, sin can be right pi minus pi by 3. Clear? We know that cos 180 minus theta, pi minus theta, we know that by quadrant property, cos is positive in fourth quadrant and first quadrant and negative in both quadrant. Okay, and this is pi, this is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi by 2, means pi minus pi by 3 means second quadrant lies, and we know that second quadrant the cos is always negative. Clear? When cos is negative means e ki power I 2 pi by 3 will gives cos pi minus pi by 3 cos pi by 3 plus I sin pi by 3. And we know that cos pi by 3 with negative sign will come, because in second quadrant cos pi minus theta is minus cos theta, and this will give 1 by 2 plus I sin root 3 by 2. I hope you will be understand that what is the mean of e ki power I 2 pi by 3, which means minus 1 by 2 plus I root 3 by 2. Clear? Now let's see omega square, which writes the e ki power 4 pi by 3, which we know that this is omega square. How can we write in such a way e ki power I 4 pi by 3? So as we know that e ki power 4 pi by 3 similarly can be write Eulerian property cos 4 pi by 3 plus I sin 4 pi by 3. And we know that it can be write pi plus pi by 3. Pi plus pi by 3, which means 4 pi by 3. Similarly, I sin pi plus pi by 3. Clear? And we know that what is the value of cos 180 plus theta? We know that cos is negative in third quadrant, so it will be cos minus cos theta, means minus 1 by 2, and this will be gives minus also sin 180 plus theta, sin also negative in third quadrant while positive in second quadrant, so it will give what it will give? It will give I root 3 minus I root 3 by 2, because sin 180 plus theta is minus. So hence it is clear that e ki power 4 pi by 3 is equal to minus 1 by 2 and minus I root 3 by 2. Let's move next discussion. What will here remain? Here remain that minus 1 by 2 plus I root 3 and itna, these both numbers complex with unit modulus. Means if we take in the modulus of both numbers, modulus means real part square and imaginary part square. Imaginary part square, and this value is equal to 1, because 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4. 4 by 4 means 1. And next says that the argument, we know that what is the mean of argument? Argument is if we consider any complex number x plus iy, z is equal to, then their argument theta is tan inverse what? Y by x, and this is known as argument. So here if we take an argument of this number x plus this is x and this is y, here argument theta will be tan inverse what? Root 3 by 2 divided by minus 1 by 2, and this will give tan inverse minus root 3, and we know that tan is negative in second and fourth quadrant, so its value is can be right. What its value can be right? Tan pi minus pi by 3, and pi minus pi by 3 will give what? 2 pi by 3. It will give 2 pi by 3. Clear? Now similarly, the argument of, if we find the value argument of minus 1 by 2 minus I root 3 by 2 will give 4 pi by 3. No doubt about that, and you can done on yourself by using notebook. Okay, now means that e की power I 2 pi by 3, which means omega its value is minus 1 by 2 and plus I root 3 upon 2. Always remember, and minus 1 by 2 minus I root 3 upon 2 is equal to e की power 4 pi by 3, which means omega square. We have always remember, because we direct use in some problem related to IIT and other entrance examination. If we remember such values of omega and omega square in term of Eulerian and complex, simple complex form x plus iy, then we can solve easily within the second and we get the result. Now we see I omega and omega square is the root, where omega is I 2 pi by 3. So similarly, if we taking square on both sides, we get e की power 4 pi by 3. I think you should remember only omega, then you can get omega square. Now, some properties here. New topic is properties of cube root, which is very important in point of view of competition classes, competitions questions which have more importance. So first property is cube root of unity are 1 omega and omega square. So you are always know, and omega is equal to minus half plus minus I root 3 upon 2 is equal to e power 2 pi by 3. I'll earlier discussed about it. So let's move next. We know that argument of omega is 2 pi by 3 and argument of omega square 4 pi by 3 in above discussion. Now let's see new way written of z cube minus 1 is z minus 1, z minus omega and z minus omega square. If we take in product of these three quantities and open the brackets and using the value omega cube is 1, then we will get z cube minus 1. Clear? Now if we consider that omega is minus 1 by 2 plus I root 3 by 2. Clear? If we take in omega square, we know that minus half minus I root 3 by 2. And if we taking the product of omega and omega cube, if we taking the product of omega and omega cube, we will get 1. Clear? It means that omega cube always in case of cube root of unity is 1. Clear? Now let's see, here is some more property. Omega and omega square as the root of equation z square plus z plus 1 is equal to 0. As we know that when z cube minus 1 is open in such a way, z minus 1 z square plus z plus 1 is equal to 0. This value will give equal to 0, z is equal to 1, and this value is gives the z square plus z plus 1 is equal to 0. And we know that from you applying the Sridharacharya formula, we get omega and omega square, which means minus 1 by 2 plus I root 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 minus I root 3 upon 2. So hence we can say that z square z plus 1 is also satisfying the value of omega and omega square, because the roots are come from this equation. So we can say that if we satisfying this value is in equation, we get one new property, omega square plus omega plus 1 is equal to 0. And this can be also verified using the value of omega. And what is the value of omega? Minus 1 by 2 plus I root 3 upon 2 and omega square minus 1 by 2 minus I root 3 upon 2 and plus 1. When using adding this left hand side, we will get is equal to 0. Now next property number 5 says that cube root of unity lie on the unit circle. Cube root of unity lie on the unit circle whose value mod z is equal to 1. Now you can see that what is the mean of mod z is equal to 1. First of all, if you are in class 11th, so you have to know about what mod z is equal to 1. Mod z is equal to 1 means it represents a circle. It represents a circle of radius unity 1 and center is origin. Center is origin means 0 0. How can we justify? Means here it says that if we open mod z is equal to 1, what is the mean of z? Z is x plus iy, which is equal to 1. We know that modulus property, under root real part, imaginary part, and this is equal to 1. Taking square on both sides, x square y square is equal to 1. And x square y square is equal to 1. What is the mean of x square plus y square is equal to 1? It means that a circle which having center 0 0 and radius is unity. Okay. Now let's see next property number 6, very important property, and it can also verified 1 plus omega ke power n plus omega power 2n is equal to either 0 either 3. Either 0 either 3 means what? If n is not multiple of 3, and it will be 3 when n is multiple of 3. We verified that. How can say that this value is equal to 0 and 3? If we taking n is not multiple of 3, suppose that n is 2, then this will equation converted in 1 plus omega square plus omega power 4 is equal to 0. When this equation is converted in 1 plus omega square plus omega ke power 4 is equal to 0, then we taking common omega square, we get 1 plus omega is equal to 0. And we know that one property, that 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. We know that one property of a cube root of unity. So 1 plus omega can be right minus omega square. Putting these value in equation number that, we get 1 plus omega square minus omega square is equal to 0. Clear? So 1 minus omega ke power 4, 1 plus omega square power 4 is equal to 0. Similarly, if we write that, let's start from beginning. If we taking n is equal to 2, not multiple of 3, when we put in that equation, it converted 1 plus omega square plus omega ke power 4 is equal to 0. And we know that 1 plus omega square, taking common on both sides, we get omega square, it will gives 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. Clear? We know that 1 plus omega square can be right what? 1 plus omega square can be right minus omega, and this gives 1 minus omega cube is equal to 0, and 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Means if we taking any value of n except multiple of 3, we always get 1 plus omega power n plus omega power 2n is 0. Clear? Now let's see next. If n is multiple of 3, so let we taking n is equal to 3. When we taking n is equal to 3, we get 1 plus omega cube plus omega ke power 6 is equal to 0. When we taking common, we know that omega cube, what omega cube? Omega cube is 1, and omega power 6 is can be right omega cube ke power 2 which is equal to 0. So this is 1 plus 1, what is value? This is 2, and 2 plus 1, because we know that omega cube is 1, this is what gives, don't take in equal to 0, this is wrong. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, means that 1 plus omega square, omega 1 plus omega cube plus omega power 6 always gives 3. If we take in multiple of 3 means 3, 6, 9 and so on. Putting at that place we always get 3, and other values 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 7 we get always 0. Clear? Now here some more property. Cube root of minus 1. Here we studied about minus cube root of unity, cube plus cube root of unity. Here we discuss about cube root of unity, 1 के power 1 by 3. But if the quantity is changed, cube root of negative of 1 by 3, negative of 1 by 3, then what is the effect taking out of place? Then what is the effect take place here? If we taking cube root of unity, then it will comes z power 1 by 3 is equal to, consider, then z cube, and this is minus 1 is equal to 0, then that's z cube plus 1 is equal to 0. When z cube plus 1 0, we know that a cube plus b cube is a plus b, a square minus ab plus b square is equal to 0. So we know that one root is z is equal to minus 1, and by using what? By using Sridharacharya, we will get 2 more value from z square minus z plus 1 is equal to 0. What will be? Consider that z is equal to 1 plus minus b square minus 4ac upon 2a. That gives 1 plus minus root 3i upon 2. So here remember that the cube root of negative ones gives minus 1, and other roots are plus 1 I root 3 upon 2, 1 root, and 1 minus I root 3 upon 2. This is the other root of z's of negative cube root of unity, negative root of unity. So negative cube root of unity, if we taking z is equal to 1, so z is equal to 1 plus I root 3 upon 2. If we taking cube root of negative minus 1, then we get these 3 values, and from cube root of unity we get z is equal to 1, and second value is z is equal to minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2, and next value is minus 1 minus I root 3 upon 2. These 3 quantities, and these are different except these 2 quantity, means two roots are different and one root are common, that is no here one more difference, that is z is equal to 1 and z is equal to here is minus 1, z is equal to minus 1. Clear? So we can say that if we consider that this is omega, means we know that what is the omega? Omega is minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2. And what is the mean of minus omega? Minus omega means I root 3 upon 2. Here we can say that minus omega, why here write? Here write due to, we know that omega is minus 1 by 2 plus I root 3 upon 2. So here putting my minus omega value and minus omega square. Okay. Now move next. Z cube plus 1 can write, we know that z plus omega square. Similarly, like we can say that, similarly like we can write property number 3rd. Now minus omega and minus omega square are the roots of z square minus z plus omega. Means if minus omega and minus omega square are the root of equation, this minus omega will satisfy omega square plus omega plus 1 0, and omega ke power 4 if we satisfy, it will give omega ke power 4 plus omega square of plus 1 is equal to 0. Clear? Here some more property as like zq plus 1 can be write z plus 1 z plus omega square. Similarly aq plus b cube we write a plus b omega square, a cube minus b cube a minus b omega square, and so on. It is very easy. We taking the product of these three quantity on right hand side, and using the property omega cube is equal to n and 1 plus omega square is equal to 0, then we can get a cube plus b cube, similarly a cube minus b cube, and so on. Okay, so here we discuss the some property which are left in last lecture. So I hope you will understand very well, and if you want to take the screenshot, you can take the screenshot for your notes. Okay, and take some more practice, and next lecture I will discuss some more problem related to IIT and other competition, and which are based on cube root of unity. Okay, I hope today's lecture you will get extraordinary things which are based on cube root of unity, and I think you must like this lecture. Please like, subscribe my channel. Thank you.